somebody who's great. I think the Republicans have a death wish. When I watched what happened in December with the lame duck, when I watched Paul Ryan come out with his plan, which the timing was the worst I've ever seen in the history of politics, there was no reason for him to do it. He could believe it, he could think it, he could do everything. He could even act on it at some point. But for him to come out so soon in front of these elections was a disaster. When I look at the $100 billion turning out to be $300 million in cuts of a budget, I said the Republicans are not doing a very good job. Okay, I'm trying to be nice. They're not doing a very good job. Now, on top of that, I have NBC calling me. And, you know, having a hit show is cool. You have a hit show. I just showed you your ratings. Your ratings are fantastic.
I love when I get my ratings from Donald Trump.
I used to do your show when you didn't have your ratings, right? So I guess, you know, but your ratings are fantastic. You have a big hit show. It's really cool to have a hit show. And I have Comcast and NBC calling me, please, Donald, please, we want you, we love you, we love you. So I had to make a decision. So I said, I'll do it, primarily because when I watch the Republicans self-destruct, or death wish, as I said, I'll do the show. I'll see who they pick. If they pick a loser, I may very well run as an independent.
All right.
Because it's totally vital to get Obama out of office. He is a terrible president. He's doing a terrible job. And I don't think he has any concept of what he's doing.
All right, let me go back and focus on this because this is important. If you run as an independent, you wouldn't consider getting back in the Republican primary? You would run as an independent?
Well, it's a little bit late to get back because I would make my decision sometime during May of next year. And that's a little bit late to get back in, number one.
No, that's late. You wouldn't be. You'd have to run as an independent.
So you have to really run as an independent. So
do you not worry that you would, that what my premise would be right, that you would split the anti-Obama vote?
I think two things would happen. I'd win or Obama would win. I don't think the Republican could win.
You see the field of candidates we currently have.
Right.
Is there anybody that impresses you in any way that's running? Is there anybody that you view?
I thought last night Michelle Bachmann did very well.
Yeah.
She looked very good, and I thought she did a very good job. I will say this, Pawlenty, who's a nice guy, but he was given a softball. It was like, boom, hit it out of the park, having to do with Romney's, you know, whole thing with Medicare. And he was given an absolute, you know, just a softball, and he didn't take it. And yet on Sunday, on Chris Wallace's show, he gave a nice answer. I don't understand what happened.
Why didn't he do it in front of
Romney? I don't understand it. All of a sudden, he decided to go soft.
What about Palin? Would you be able to get behind her?
Well, she hasn't asked me to, and we have a very good relationship, and she's a special person. But she hasn't asked, and I don't know.
If she called you today?
Well, I don't want to do the hypothetical thing because it's unfair to other people also. But I specifically, when we went for the famous pizza where I got killed because I used a fork, and all I'm trying to do is keep the weight down. You know, I just don't want to eat the crust, and I can't take the stuff off without. So I got absolutely killed on the fork, but that's okay. But I specifically asked her, I said, Sarah, are you running? And I really don't think in her own mind she knows yet. She is a terrific woman who loves this country, who happens to be very smart. Now, the press doesn't want to say that. I mean, it's unbelievable where they're going through 24,000 emails and they don't find anything.
Nothing.
I mean, can you imagine going through 24,000 emails and you haven't made one little mistake? That's unbelievable. What a great tribute to her. She's got to be the greatest person
I don't want my emails gone through like that.
I wouldn't want to see your emails, right?
By the way, they're not like Anthony Weiner's.
No. Well, nobody's. I mean, how about that? And I called that. I was the first one.
You did.
I said he's a psycho. He ought to get out. I've known this guy for a long time. He's a bad guy. And it turns out he's a sick guy.
Why don't they force him out?
Well, I called him a psycho long before it was fashionable. By the way, before this whole scandal, I said, you'll never be mayor of New York, Anthony. And for all of the wrong reasons, it turns out I'm right. He should immediately resign. And the bigger question is, what will his wife do? Because the guy's mentally something wrong with him.
Yeah, I agree.
So the real question is, what will his wife do? Who's a highly respected woman. And it is interesting. This guy's going through turmoil like nobody's ever gone through turmoil. And his wife isn't with him.
Yeah.
You would think, in all fairness, that the wife would sort of say, excuse me, Hillary, I'm going back.
I want to go back to this. So Donald Trump will consider, after your next apprentice sometime in May, if you're going to run as an independent. And your decision will be based on if you...
Two things.
Two things.
If the Republicans put in somebody that I think won't win and is not going to be very good, based on my feeling, and also if the economy continues to do badly, which I think it will continue to do badly, because our people in Washington have no idea. They don't have a clue what's going on. So if the economy is bad and the Republicans put in a person that I think is wrong, I will run as an independent.